that's in my lifetime in bodybuilding. That's 25 years. So let's say one person per year that I've met that could get away with getting a pro physique with less than 2 grams of gear.
Yeah.
Worked like a charm, though.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, why are you running 25 milligrams? I said, that's the most I can tolerate, dude.
I've seen that. I've seen people are like, what are you doing? Why is it 25 a week?
Yeah.
I mean, if it worked, it worked.
I got barely side effects, but still got side effects like bronchoconstriction. And after a while, I was like, fuck this, dude. I was happy to get off it. But after 6 weeks, I got the physique that I wanted. So it was well worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if that's all you needed, that's all you needed.
Yeah. Well, muscle memory, right? I mean,
well, sure. I mean,
yeah.
When that was a lot of what came back for me after that year off for the fertility stuff was shit just blowing back up and filling back out more than anything. And it was like, holy shit. But yeah.
Good times. Good times. Did you watch the podcast with Evan Centopani?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
That was a good one.
I literally laughed out loud when he was talking about the Serostim and how he got it for, how much did he get it for? For 4 boxes, $775 for 4 boxes. Yeah. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" That's an insane price. Insane.
I'm getting a similar deal right now. That's why I'm bumping it up to 10 IUs.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you know, I mean, it was funny because when he said it, he was like, "I knew a guy. I don't know how he was involved." I was just like. He's got AIDS. That's what it is. That's a guy with AIDS wanting to sell his boxes.
Yeah, he'd rather just party, and he likes what you're doing. So
yeah, I mean it's funny. It's so like in my Discord group after seeing that whole thing with Evan, one of my guys, he's like joining a Facebook AIDS group and is going to try to like see if he can sort something out and see if we can meet somebody.
that's how I got my first
I was like, well, that's
genotropin.
interesting. So,
well, the first time I got pharmaceutical grade was genotropin from AIDS patients in Germany. So I drove down there to pick it up. Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. And then unfortunately one of those guys passed, and then the other well, they were heavy into partying and stuff. So, and then the other guy realized that, well, maybe I should stop partying and start using the GH that they prescribe so I can keep my immune system intact.
Yeah.
So,
so that part of my plan is for the Olympia, I might make a t-shirt that says something like, "Will buy your Serostim," or "Got AIDS." I'll buy. I got money. You got AIDS. I got money.
AIDS. Yeah, got AIDS and Serostim. I got money.
So, but yeah, I mean, from what I hear, like the going rate straight from a patient is like $300 a box is typically the going rate nowadays. But yeah, when he said 7, I was like, what the hell? Like, that's insane pricing.
But they're talking about over a decade ago, So
yeah, it's crazy. I would not have expected that. Oh yeah,
it was worth a lot more back then.
That's good
inflation. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. So I'm getting a similar deal right now from one of the pharmacies here, but it's an Underground Lab brand. So we're not going to discuss which one that is. But I did a serum test on 3.3 IUs, and it got back at 13.3 nanograms per deciliter or milliliter.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. So I'll do 10 IUs for a week, and then I'll check it on Saturday or Sunday when the pen runs out. And then hopefully it's like 32 nanograms per nanograms per milliliter. Fuck.
Yeah.
And then I'll just stock up, and then I'll keep running 10 IUs until I get sick of it.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
Yeah, because if you're just spending $1 or $2, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a solid plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. I was watching this podcast the other day. It was it had Stuart Sutherland on it.
Okay.
I like him because he's pretty honest about stuff. But they were like going around the podcast asking each other. The question was like, what year was like your best gains and why? And he was like, I think he said it was 2021, and it was because I decided to do high growth hormone every day, which 10 IUs a day is what he was talking about. Yeah. And they were like, they all were kind of like, oh, yeah, I guess that's legit. But I just thought that was funny that he just kind of out and said it instead of being like, well, I just upped my calories. I started training slower and more volume.
Most of these guys do that already. It's just at one point you can finally afford that much GH.
Yeah.
And you realize that, okay, I can safely push up the gear to like 3 grams or more.
Yeah.
As long as I eat healthy and use my ancillaries and do my butt work.
Right.
And then at one point, if you stay on top of your shit and the light bulb goes like, you know what, I think I can do this. And I have the sponsor to spend 2 Gs per month or 3 Gs per month on gear.
Yeah.
And then they mutate, I mean, that's the kind of the going bill per month for some of these guys, $2,000 to $3,000.
Yeah, I mean that's where I was at. A year ago, I was like, okay, I have the means to do this, and then when I started doing it and things started changing really fast, I was like, oh shit, this is this is it. This is what we're doing. And so then getting blood work. Consistently, I started bumping up the doses and was just like, okay, this is good. This is how it is, I guess. And it wasn't, I don't know. It's like, of course, you hear the stories about, GH15 talking about all that stuff and Nasser and everybody else talking about whatever high dose stories there are. But, you just, until you like kind of go down that road, you just hope that it's almost like it's a fairy tale because you don't want to have to take that much. But then it's like you start taking that much and you're like, oh shit. Well, but of course it's not for everybody. Some people will get a better result on less, but still it's just like, for me, from what I've seen, I was like, holy shit, this is.
I think I've met like 20, 25 guys that could get away with less than 2 grams of gear.
Yeah.
And that's in my lifetime in bodybuilding. That's 25 years. So let's say one person per year that I've met that could get away with getting a pro physique with less than 2 grams of gear.
Yeah.
And even then, towards the end, it's all in, because what if you don't take two grams and the competitor is taking 2 grams and you're big but you're not hard, you're not full, you're not dense, right? So the abuse usually comes into play at the end anyway because the competitors get a little bit insecure about how they look.
Sure.
And if the competition is taking, halo test and Superdrol and Winstrol at the end, then I have to take this also, right? So
I mean, like, if you're only on 5 and they're on 6, you're like, wow, shit, I need to go on 6.
Like, I just took a gram of test and 350 Tren, and then the calculation stops. That's 1,300 milligrams, right? And 100 milligrams of Winstrol, and 30 milligrams of halotestin, and 30 milligrams of Superdrol, and 300 milligrams of Anadrol per day at the end.
300
and then you start calculating, like, wait a minute, that's 2.5 to 3 grams a year also.
Shit.
You stupid fuck. Yeah, it's just a little bit. I only pushed it at the end, 300 Anadrol per day. No. Just put it all together. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why sometimes we hear these pros talk like I took this and that, and that's why I like Evan so much because he just started rattling off drugs, and I didn't even ask him. I took this and this and this and this and this and this.
I really loved how he knew the different brands across the years, and so like he really knew his stuff. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, this guy's a connoisseur.
No, he loves his stuff. Yeah, and then afterwards we talked more, of course.